My wife secretly took out a loan in my name and ran off with her affair partner. He's too dumb to notice, she laughed. I let her think that. But this morning, she was screaming outside my house. Hey everyone. Before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. You know that feeling when something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it? That's how this whole mess started. Looking back now, I should have seen it coming. But Gemma had always been good at making me feel like I was just being paranoid. First off, some background. I'm Shepard, 35, been married to Gemma for 8 years. We met when I was working as a contractor on one of her real estate projects. She liked that I was rough around the edges, back then at least. That's what she told her friends. I overheard her saying it at a party once, laughing about how I didn't know the difference between champagne and Prosecco. Like that matters. The first real red flag came 3 months ago. I was scrolling through our shared Amazon account looking for a receipt when I noticed a bunch of ordered confirmations I didn't recognize. New dresses, expensive makeup, and a pair of $300 shoes. Nothing crazy suspicious about that. Gemma had always liked nice things, but we'd agreed to discuss any purchases over $200, and she hadn't mentioned any of it. When I brought it up over dinner, she laughed it off. Oh honey, I got a great commission from that Henderson house sale. Thought I'd treat myself. Then she reached across the table and patted my hand like I was some kind of puppy. Don't worry your head about it. That's when she said it, the words that would end up changing everything. She turned to grab her phone and muttered under her breath to herself, he's too dumb to notice anyway. She didn't think I heard her, but I did. The next day, I started paying attention. Real attention. Not just to the money, but to everything. Gemma had always handled our finances. She said it made sense since she worked with numbers all day. I trusted her with that. Hell, I trusted her with everything. I noticed she'd started working late more often. Real estate can be like that, sure. But she'd also started dressing differently. Not just the new clothes, but the way she wore them. More makeup. Always checking her phone. Typical affair stuff, right? But I'm not the kind of guy who jumps to conclusions without proof, so I did something dumb. Really dumb. I started asking her to explain basic stuff about our bills. Acted confused about our bank statements. Each time, she'd get this little smirk, like she was so clever. Don't worry about it, sweetie. I've got it all handled. Then the mail came. A credit card statement I didn't recognize. I almost tossed it, thinking it was junk, but something made me open it. Inside was a $15,500 balance. In my name. I've never been so calm in my life. Called the credit card company right there, acting confused. Oh gosh, I'm looking at the statement, but I don't remember applying for this card. Could you tell me when it was opened? 3 months ago. Right around when the shopping spree started. I hung up and did some digging. Found 3 more cards. All maxed out. Total damage. Almost $50,000. But here's the kicker. The statements were all paperless, going to an email address I didn't recognize. She'd set everything up perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. Last week, I was napping on the couch when she made a call in our kitchen. She was talking to someone named Phoenix. Weird name, right? Had to be the guy she was seeing. I kept my eyes closed and just listened. He has no idea, she was saying, laughing that laugh she used to do with me. I've got everything set up, just need to move a few more things around. No, trust me, he won't figure it out. Shepard's sweet, but he's not exactly sharp. Remember when he thought APR was a type of window cleaner? I remembered that conversation. It was a joke I'd made when we first met. She thought it was charming back then. The best part? I opened all these cards in his name. By the time he figures it out, we'll be. She walked onto the back porch, voice fading. That night, I lay next to her in bed, listening to her breathe, thinking about all the years we'd spent together. 8 years of my life with someone who thought I was too stupid to see what was right in front of me. The woman I loved was planning to destroy my life, and she was laughing about it. But here's something Gemma never understood about me. I don't get mad. I get methodical. The next morning, I called my sister Gail. She's an accountant, sharp as they come. Hey sis, I said, keeping my voice casual in case Gemma was listening. Remember that talk we had about investing? Think we could grab coffee? Gail must have heard something in my voice, because she didn't hesitate. Give me an hour. I'm writing this now from Gail's kitchen table, looking at spreadsheets of all the evidence we've gathered. Bank statements, credit card applications, text messages, everything. Gemma's still at home, probably planning her exit strategy, thinking I'm at work. She has no idea that tomorrow morning her perfectly planned life is going to start unraveling. And the best part? I'm going to let her make the first move. Because sometimes, the dumbest thing you can do is underestimate the person you're trying to con. Update 1. Thanks for all the support on my last post. A lot has happened since then, and I need to get this off my chest. It's been 2 weeks since I discovered Gemma's loan scheme and her affair with Phoenix. I've been playing dumb, just like they expect me to, and watching them dig their own grave. The amount of stupid they're doing while thinking they're being clever is almost entertaining. Almost. Last Thursday, I was sitting in my truck outside our favorite coffee shop when I saw them walk in together. Gemma was wearing the silver bracelet I got her for our anniversary, and that just set something off in me. But I stayed put, watching. They spent 40 minutes laughing and planning their future with my money. I recorded a video on my phone of them making out in public. Real classy, Gemma. My sister Gail came through big time. She's an accountant and helped me document everything. We spent a whole weekend going through bank statements, credit reports, and loan documents. Turns out Gemma didn't just take out one loan, she opened 3 credit cards in my name over the past 4 months. She used my social security number and forged my signature. Total damage, $47,000. Jesus Christ, Shepherd, Gail said, spreading the papers across her kitchen table. She really thought you wouldn't notice this? I just shrugged. She always said I was too busy working to pay attention to the finances. Guess she was right about the busy part. The next day I met with Amy, an old friend who practices family law. She took one look at the evidence and almost choked on her coffee. This is actually perfect, she said, organizing the documents into neat piles. Keep playing dumb. Let them think they're winning. We'll hit them when they least expect it. But the real kicker came yesterday. Yesterday I was at the gym when Gemma called, her voice all sweet and concerned. Baby, I noticed you've been working late a lot. Maybe we should take a vacation. Phoenix. I found this amazing deal on a beach house in Florida. I almost laughed out loud. They were planning to clean out our accounts during this vacation. I played along, telling her it sounded great that I'd start looking at flights. As soon as I hung up, I transferred most of our savings to a new account Gail helped me set up. Left just enough to keep Gemma from getting suspicious. Later that night, I overheard them in our garage. I'd come home early, and their voices carried through the vents. Phoenix was pressuring her to speed things up. He's such an idiot, Gemma laughed. Working his ass off at that construction site, doesn't even realize half his money's already gone. God, I can't wait to see his face when we're living it up and he's left with nothing. Phoenix chuckled. You're evil, babe. I love it. I recorded that conversation too. My hands were shaking with anger, but I kept quiet. Let them talk. Let them dig deeper. This morning was wild. Gemma tried to get me to sign some paper for a refinancing deal she found. Said it would help us save money on our mortgage. I pretended to be interested, but told her I needed to head to work before I could sign. The look of frustration on her face was priceless. I'm writing this from Gail's house. Amy's coming over later with the divorce papers. We've got everything documented. The loans, the credit cards, the forged signatures, the recordings. Gemma and Phoenix think they're so smart, living their best life with my money, planning their great escape. The vacation they planned? It's next week. They don't know. I've seen their secret email thread about one-way tickets to Florida. Gemma's been slowly moving her designer stuff to Phoenix's place, thinking I wouldn't notice. Clothes and jewelry missing. The idiot even posted photos wearing my anniversary gift in his apartment on Instagram. Tomorrow, I'm having a locksmith change all the locks. The security cameras are already installed. Picked them up last weekend when I told Gemma I was buying fishing gear. The look on their faces when they realize everything's backfired? I can't wait. Amy says we've got them dead to rights. No judge is going to look kindly on financial fraud and identity theft. The best part? Phoenix isn't nearly as well off as he pretends to be. I had Gail look into his finances. Amazing what public records can tell you. He's got 2 failed businesses and a mountain of debt. They think they're playing me, but they're about to learn who the real idiot is. Gemma just texted, don't forget to sign those papers when you get home. Love you. Yeah, sure. Love you too, honey. Stay tuned. The next update's going to be good. Update 2. It's amazing how quickly things can change. 3 weeks ago, Gemma was living her best life with Phoenix in their rented downtown apartment, posting Instagram stories about their new beginning and how sometimes you have to follow your heart. Well, karma's a funny thing, and I've been busy setting some dominoes in motion. Remember how I mentioned Phoenix's big development project? Turns out, having your real estate agent girlfriend publicly leave her husband for you isn't great for business relationships. Who knew? My sister Gail works in commercial banking, and word travels fast in our small city. Phoenix's investors started getting nervous after hearing about his personal situation. No one wants to back someone who seems unstable. I didn't have to do anything directly. Just let the right people know I was filing for divorce because Gemma left me for her client. Truth is powerful when you use it right. But here's where it gets interesting. Last Thursday, I'm at the local Home Depot getting supplies, and I run into Gemma's boss. He gives me this look like he's seen a ghost. Turns out Gemma had been telling everyone at work that we were separated for months and that I was the one who cheated. The boss's wife is friends with my sister Gail on Facebook, where she'd seen the truth about the loan and everything else. Gemma had 3 pending sales fall through that same week when clients found out about her situation. The real entertainment started yesterday morning. I'm having coffee on my porch, scrolling through my phone, when a Range Rover screeches into my driveway. Gemma jumps out, mascara running, screaming about how I ruined everything. Apparently, Phoenix's project finally fell through. The bank pulled their funding, and his other investors backed out. She was waving her phone around, showing me screenshots of their overdrawn account and past due rent notices. You did this, she screamed. You turned everyone against us. I just sipped my coffee. I didn't do anything except tell the truth, Gemma. Isn't that what you wanted? To live your truth? She lost it, started throwing around words like sabotage and revenge. That's when Phoenix showed up in his BMW, probably about to be repossessed, trying to act tough. You think you're so smart, he said, getting in my face. You're just a bitter loser who couldn't keep his wife happy. I smiled. Actually, I'm the guy who kept all the receipts and security cam footage of you two meeting up at the Lake Hotel while planning to steal my identity for a loan. Want to keep pushing your luck? The color drained from both their faces. Gemma knew exactly what I meant. Those hotel meetings were while she was showing houses, billing clients for her time. The footage would kill her real estate license instantly. You wouldn't, she whispered. Try me. Now get off my property before I call the police for trespassing. They left, but not before Gemma had one last meltdown. She was crying about how they were about to be evicted, how Phoenix was talking about moving back in with his parents in Florida. Apparently their perfect new life isn't so perfect without my credit score to leech off of. I went inside and called Amy, my lawyer friend. Everything's going exactly like you said it would, I told her. They're imploding all on their own. Just stick to the plan, she said. The divorce filing goes through next week. Once the loan fraud evidence is presented in court, she'll be lucky if she ever gets approved for a credit card again. I hung up and checked my security cameras through my phone. Gemma was sitting in her Range Rover at the end of my street, probably trying to figure out how it all went wrong. That's the thing about people like her. They never expect consequences. They think they're too clever, too special for karma to find them. But I'm not done yet. See, what Gemma doesn't know is that I've got one more card to play. Remember that loan she took out in my name? Thanks to Gail's connections at the bank, we've traced exactly where every dollar went, including the business investments Phoenix convinced her to make in his failing project. The court's going to love seeing those documents. My neighbor's security camera caught Gemma trying to sneak up to my house at 3 a.m. last night. She was drunk, crying, trying to open my front door with her old key. I changed the locks weeks ago. She kept mumbling about how this wasn't how it was supposed to go, and we had a plan. Yeah, well, I had a plan too. The best part? Phoenix's ex-wife reached out to me on Facebook. Turns out, this isn't his first time pulling this scam. He did the same thing in Tampa 3 years ago. Seduced a married real estate agent, convinced her to invest in his projects, then left her with nothing. But this time, he picked the wrong mark. This time, the husband wasn't as dumb as they thought. I'm not posting this for advice anymore. I'm posting it because I want other people to know you don't have to be a victim. You don't have to roll over when someone tries to destroy your life. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting terrible people face the consequences of their own actions. And Gemma, since I know you're probably reading this, you always did scroll through Reddit on your phone when you were stressed. Remember when you told Phoenix I was too dumb to notice what you were doing? Funny how things work out, isn't it? I'll post another update after the divorce hearing next week. Something tells me it's going to be interesting. Final update. I never thought I'd be writing another update, but here we are. The last few weeks have been absolute chaos, and I mean that in the best possible way. Remember how Gemma always said I was too dumb to notice? Well, karma's a beautiful thing when you play the long game. It started last Tuesday. I was having my morning coffee when I heard screaming outside. Not just any screaming, Gemma's distinctive voice, the one she uses when things aren't going her way. I took my time walking to the front door, coffee still in hand. There she was, standing on my lawn in her designer clothes, probably bought with my money, looking nothing like the polished real estate agent she pretends to be. "You absolute bastard!" she shrieked. "How could you do this to me?" I just sipped my coffee and watched her meltdown. See, I'd spent the last 3 months quietly spreading the word about Gemma and Phoenix's business practices to everyone in our local real estate circle. Nothing illegal, just the truth about how they treated clients, the corners they cut, the promises they never kept. Word travels fast in a small town. Their fancy new real estate venture? Turns out, people don't want to work with agents they can't trust. Who knew? But that wasn't even the best part. Remember my friend Amy? She helped me document everything about that loan Gemma took out in my name. Every single detail. When Gemma and Phoenix tried to secure investors for their big development project, guess what came up in the background check? Yeah, that loan. Their funding fell through faster than Gemma's fake tan. "How dare you tell everyone about us," she screamed, mascara running down her face. "You've ruined everything." I finally spoke up. "I didn't ruin anything. Gemma, you did that all by yourself. I just made sure people knew who they were really dealing with." Phoenix showed up about 10 minutes later in his leased BMW, 3 months behind on payments, according to my sister Gail, who works at the dealership. He tried to act tough, getting in my face about how I'd better fix this or else. I just laughed. "Or else what? You'll steal my wife? Take out more loans in my name? Go ahead, try something. I've got everything documented." That's when things got really interesting. Gemma started yelling at Phoenix about how this was all his fault, how he promised her they'd be successful. Turns out their perfect little affair wasn't so perfect when the money dried up. Who could have guessed? The neighbors were all watching by this point. Mrs. Johnson next door was live streaming the whole thing on her phone. I should probably feel bad about that, but honestly, after what Gemma did, a little public humiliation seems fair. The best part? That development project they were so excited about, the one they needed investors for, the land they bought is worthless. I know because I had my contractor buddy check it out. The The whole plot needs major drainage work before anything can be built there. Would have taken them 5 minutes to discover that if they'd done proper due diligence instead of rushing to prove how successful they could be without me. Gemma's real estate license is under review now. Turns out, taking out loans in someone else's name raises some ethical concerns with the licensing board. Who knew? Phoenix's reputation is shot. Nobody wants to work with him after the land development fiasco. Last I heard, he's trying to sell his BMW to cover their mounting debts. The screaming match ended when I pulled out my phone and started recording. Funny how quickly people calm down when there's evidence being collected. Before they left, I couldn't resist one last dig. "Hey Gemma," I called out. "Remember when you told Phoenix I was too dumb to notice? How's that working out for you?" The look on her face was worth every second of the past few months. They're both still sending me angry texts and voicemails. Phoenix even tried to threaten me with a lawsuit, which made me laugh. Sue with what money? The latest rumor is they're fighting constantly, blaming each other for their failures. Their perfect new life isn't looking so perfect anymore. My sister Gail helped me document everything in case they try anything stupid, but honestly, I don't think they will. They're too busy trying to salvage what's left of their reputations. Good luck with that. As for me, I'm doing better than ever. The house is peaceful, my job is going well, and I just started seeing someone new, someone who actually appreciates honesty and hard work. Life has a funny way of working out sometimes. Gemma still drives by the house occasionally, probably hoping to catch me looking miserable without her. Yesterday, I was outside washing my truck when she crept past. I just waved and smiled. The sound of her tires screeching as she sped away was music to my ears. The best revenge? I didn't have to do anything illegal or extreme. I just made sure everyone knew exactly who they really were. The truth did all the heavy lifting for me. I've learned a lot through all this. Sometimes the best response to betrayal isn't a big, dramatic gesture. It's just letting people destroy themselves while you watch from a safe distance. Coffee in hand. To everyone who's followed this story and offered support, thank you. Your messages help more than you know. And to anyone going through something similar, keep your head up. The best revenge is living well, and occasionally watching karma do its thing from your front porch. Like today's story? A super thanks helps me keep bringing you the best daily content. Your support means I can keep doing what I love. Thanks for being awesome.